So now that we've been using the riser for a while, we got to get in and tune it up. So just like a bicycle or your car, every once in a while you got to tune it up some. So let's get started. First thing, let's get the bag off. We want to check all these top screws that are holding the leg holders in. Let's make sure those are nice and tight. Now they're screwed into plastic, so don't overdo it, but you should be able to get them snug. Now, if any are missing or stripped out, there is a option on our website to get some extras in our tune-up kit, which there should be a link down below. So if any of them are stripped out, those screws are a little bit longer, so you should be able to screw those in just fine. Another thing that we recommend, if you are constantly having them loosen up, or if you just really want to make sure, what you can do, you can take them out, and our tune-up kit actually includes a little bit of super glue, and just put a drop or two right on the tip of the screw, and then put that back in, and that'll just lock it in. It won't permanently lock it in. You'll still be able to break it loose once it dries and everything, but it'll really hold those in so you don't have any issue with them coming out. What I do recommend, every once in a while before you play around, just tip over your bag and just wiggle the leg holders and make sure that they're on there nice and snug. And obviously if they're not, pull your bag off and tighten up those screws. But hopefully you should be able to keep those nice and tight with no problem. Now let's flip it over. So we want to check the screws that are on the leg holders. And again, these are just going into thin aluminum and plastic, so don't overdo them. We just want to make sure that they're down all the way. If you're missing the ones that hold the leg in, those are included in that tune-up package. So just give those a little bit of a turn, make sure that they're down all the way on all three of the legs. If you're having an issue of them constantly coming loose, and every once in a while these lines will pull out of the screws, so if you are having that issue, you can back them out and actually add super glue to the tip of them and screw them back in to lock them in. We also want to check the screws that are on the faceplate. So just tip it up sideways, and again, going into plastic, so just make sure that they're down all the way. They don't have to be super, super tight. All the components on the riser are replaceable, so if you have any that are damaged or broken or anything like that, you should be able to get them on our site. And if you can't, get in touch with us and we can get you what you need. We also want to check these foot pads. Some people have, I think mainly when it happens is they set it down in the mud and the mud grabs it and pulls it off. So you want to just check these, and if they slide off really easy, like these ones on here are tight, but if they slide off a little too easy, we recommend just putting a little wrap of tape. It can be electrical tape or a Scotch tape or anything like that. Just wrap it around, cut it off, and push it back on. So it's nice and tight now, so it doesn't want to just come right off. And these are available on our site too if you need some of these. Now we want to check the leg tension. So let's push this side lock down, make sure that that is down, and we're going to make sure we're above everything and lock the legs open. Once they're locked open, all the legs should go past 90 degrees and they should have a little bit of a spring back. So if one of them feels a little loose or is, at almost vertical, then let's go ahead and adjust that. First you want to get the line out, and you're going to use a little toothpick just to kind of slide it out, or something else sharp that can pull that out. You just want to break this screw loose and then just pull this line a little snug and tighten it up. And these ones you can get pretty tight. They're going through the aluminum, so they can handle quite a bit of tightness. You want to make sure that really pinches on that line, that there's no space underneath the head. If you're constantly having it slip, you might need to tighten that up a little bit more. But this line is designed to slip a little bit. That way, if there is excessive stress on the legs or something, a component of the riser doesn't break, just this line will slip a little bit. So once we get that, we'll test it out, make sure it's going out, and you also kind of want to make sure that it goes up all the way when they close. So if you get it a little too tight and these are hanging down a little bit, then you can back that off and get it so you have all the way up here and all the way out down the bottom. So now that one's set just right, and we can feed that line back in to get it all cleaned up. Occasionally people have had this pull line break on them. It hasn't happened too many times, but our tune-up kit does include extras of these. So if you want to get that, so you have those just in case that happens to you, but hopefully you'll be good. All right, so now that we basically have everything tuned up and back to good, let's wash it. Now, obviously this one's new, so it doesn't need it, but yours might be really dirty. So everything on this is waterproof. So you can take your garden hose or in your kitchen sink and just wash everything. We don't recommend submerging it. Other than that, you can just hose it down. We strongly recommend you take and really get all the dirt and grime and sand out from the leg holders here. And another thing you can do is you can get like the magic erasers and scrub like if it's all scratched up, and the magic eraser will take away a lot of the scratches that have been put into it from the use. So that's about it. Once you got it all tuned up, cleaned, you can get your bag back on it and get back out there playing disc golf. Have fun.